How this game goes, you said you a player, I'm the coach. Let me tell you how it goes. You can drop that coin, you can hit my phone. I'm not your mommy, mommy, mommy. You can drop that coin, you can hit my phone. I'm not your mommy, mommy, mommy.
Hola mis amores, ¿cómo estamos? Welcome back to the Alma Lake Show podcast. Yay! I am so happy that you are here with me. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you are here. So thank you so much. I just quickly wanted to say shout out to everybody that shared the last episode, that commented. It means a lot to us, guys. I'm just starting my own podcast. So I was a little bit afraid, to start my own podcast. I was like, wow, could be a lot, but here we are. Still face your fears. Like Migos said, give your mama tears. So we are live from Hollywood, guys, and I am just so excited for today's episode. We have a great topic for you, and that is growing up Latina. I feel like, right now Latin culture is so big, especially, Bad Bunny being one of the biggest artists in the world, if not the biggest artist in the world right now, lets you know of the influence and power of Latin culture. And I feel like growing up Latina, a big part of that is like la cultura, the culture. And that is like to really love on one another. We are very touchy people. Like, we love hugging, we love kisses, we love everything. Like, let's say growing up Latina, I would always like kiss somebody on the cheek, like saying hi. So, and that's just something people don't do here, in the United States. Because, when I was growing up, I grew up between Miami and Colombia, by the way, guys. I was born in Miami, I lived there, and then I also lived in Colombia. So I grew up between both places. But especially in Colombia, we're very heartwarming people. We just really love physical touch. So, but also, we're also a little bit, I'm not saying everybody. I feel like this is with every culture. But there's also traits that are like a little bit toxic about it. I feel like sometimes in Latin culture, they have like this toxic masculinity, and it's like, it forces men to be something that they're not, and I think, and guys, also it causes like, violence in your family and all that, because it's like toxic masculinity thinks that they can solve things by hitting people, which is not true, and I feel like we all know that at this point in life. But, that's still a big issue for a lot of people, just coming home and having like a toxic partner that has toxic masculinity, and I feel like that is also very common in the Latin community. But, that's just humans, period. There's the good and the bad. So definitely growing up Latina, I would say la chancla. Guys, la chancla. Let me take off my chancla for the people on video. La chancla. But let me tell you, growing up, your mom will get mad at you and take off her chancla, her sandal. And she'll be like, you did not. And you're like, trying to like not get hit by la chancla. So that's definitely like something that is like growing up Latino, like la chancla. Damn, if your mom like grabs her feet, you're like, oh, hold on. Like the chancla coming. So definitely like that's the thing. They just throw like whatever they got in their hands. And they also like growing up Latina, they're like always saying you, oh, you think this is a hotel, you think I'm your maid, like tú crees que yo soy tu empleada, que yo soy tu criada, like, and you're like, no, mommy, I don't think you're that. And then they're like, oh, you're so spoiled, yada, yada. it is bien consentida. And I'm like, yes, guys, like also growing up Latina, I was also like very spoiled, like my mom and dad always like, were gifting me things, just being very generous with me. Um, so that's also a big part of the Latin culture. Like we just love giving, We'll take this shirt like off our backs to just give it to you. We're just thoughtful people, we really think about others, because let's say you got lost in Miami or in Medellin, where I'm from in Colombia. People will tell you how to get there. People will give you directions. People would even give you a ride if you need so, But when I moved to LA, I realized the culture here is not like that, And even Latinos here in Mexico, I'm not in Mexico, I'm sorry, but there's a lot of Latinos from Mexico here in Los Angeles and like Salvadorians. And they're so different, to us Colombians, Venezuelans, Puerto Rican, like Latins, because we are very outgoing. We are very proud of being Latinos, But here in LA, because there was just such horrible racism towards Hispanic people sometimes here in Los Angeles is like ashamed of being Latino. And I'm like, what? That's just crazy to me, But it's because they have been treated so wrongly by the color of their skin, being a little brown, tan, looking a little Latin. And, growing up Latino, there's also like some racism going on, that I hope it really gets better, but it's like, people do be judging people like based on their skin color, which is so stupid, guys. Because to be honest with you, the only thing that matters is energy. And if a person has good energy, that's all that matters. That's all that is important. To me, guys, I see color, but I see the individuality that each of us has. What makes us beautiful, What makes us different on our own thing. And, even like think, okay, well, how would this person feel? How would I feel? And just knowing like don't do to others what you don't want to be done to you, okay? And you gotta treat others how you want to be treated, Like people don't know this, but in Colombia, there's like Afro-Latinos, and they usually got like crazy rhythm, They play like las congas. And actually, Latin music, salsa, like all those stuff, it actually comes from African rhythms that were brought from slaves from Africa, So if you think about it, Latin music is also African music, because it has a lot of the subdivisions, and the how you call this? It's always in the upbeat, like in the 2-on-4. For my musicians, you get that. So, guys, that's also a big part of growing up Latina, growing up with amazing Afro-Latinos that have, like, great rhythm. They're just very charismatic people. Always with a smile, no matter what. And I really, really admire, Afro-Latinos, because I know it's not easy growing up Afro-Latino in the Latin culture. So the fact that they are so positive and so amazing, that's just something I love about Afro-Latinos. Okay, so another thing about growing up Latina, I'm not gonna lie, it's like hard to express your emotions. Because like your parents, like, growing up, they couldn't express their emotions because their parents were like toxic and, wouldn't express things to them. So that gets passed, onto generations. And it's like you got to break that curse, But for sure, like growing up, my mom, sometimes we would be like, oh, we don't do hugs. Or, be like, well, let's not talk about it. Just put some dirt on it. Like, entiérralo, ya supéralo, Alma. And my mom is always like, el pasado está en el pasado, which is like the past is in the past, you know? And that is true, guys. The past is in the past. And like, if you're holding a grudge with a family member, please call them today and apologize. Even if they did you wrong, apologize to them. Because they're actually going through so much hurt themselves that they cannot see that they're hurting others. And that's the reality of somebody that is maybe behaving in a toxic way, you know, or not really expressing how they're feeling or just attacking you, you know. So I feel like definitely growing up Latina, it's hard to express your emotions, you know, because it's a culture that is like, yeah, we love emotions, but we only love positive emotions. You know, it's like we don't want the bad. We just want the good, you know. And if it's not good, don't bring it up, you know, because it's like it's a waste of time. That's kind of like how we see it. But I genuinely believe that new, you know, Latinos, like Latinx. I don't know if you guys know about Latinx, but I can inform you guys about this. So Latinx is like all the spectrum of Latinos, you know, Latina, Latino, Afro-Latino, like all that stuff. So that's why, like, instead of like saying, oh, I'm Latino, I'm Latina, like as the younger generation are saying we're Latinx, you know, because that's what we see related to us. 'Cause it's hard for us to express emotions that might be of sadness or like anxiety or depression, because like they really don't understand why you're feeling this way. Because my family is like, you got food, you got a roof, like why are you sad? But it's like sometimes, guys, it's more than providing the basic necessities for your kid, okay? So I feel like definitely that is an issue that I have to this day, and I've talked about it with like my other Latin friends, and it's like it's difícil, you know, it's hard to communicate like sad emotions or, you know, anxious thoughts that you might have because you don't think it's something worth talking, you know, because growing up, there was just such a stigma in the Latin culture about just not talking about that because you just kind of like put dirt on it and move on, you know, that's kind of the motto. But, you know, I feel like that's also what makes us so strong in a certain way, because it's like we had to endure like so much, you know, just growing up Latin. As you know, for example, my dad, growing up, he was so poor. He only had one pair of shoes and they would break. And he would have to like, you know, just ask for friends so that he could borrow like shoes from them. And he was very, very poor, guys. You know, he would only like drink like agua panela, which is like a cane sugar beverage. And that would be like his lunch and dinner. So I feel like poverty is also a real thing, but my dad was able to come from that poverty and become a self-made, you know, businessman. And he found a lot of success. You know, right now he has his own company. But I feel like a lot of the Latin stories is like coming from poverty, but knowing that you don't want that poverty and like seeing better for yourself and like dreaming bigger. So I feel like that's also part of the American dream, if you may say so. You know, my parents wanted me to be born in the United States because they knew I could have way more opportunities than if I was born in Colombia, you know. And so many Latinos come to the United States with a Latin dream, you know, like the American dream. And they make something for themselves, you know, from zero, from nothing, from not even speaking English. My dad couldn't even speak English. To this day, my mom and dad like rarely speak English, you know. It's mostly like en español. But it's that tenacity of Latin people, you know, that growing up Latin, we're like, okay, this is hard. And guess what? It hurts. But you are going to make it through this and you're going to come out stronger than ever. And, you know, you just face it. When you're Latino, when you're Latinx, you just like face it. And there's no other way around it. Because either you grow or you die. And I feel like when you grow up in this kind of setting, like Latino, you just know that, hey, Tomorrow's gonna be better. God is with you. I feel like definitely God is a big part of our culture. Jesus. I mean, people be naming their kids Jesus. So you get how much we love Jesus. So definitely like the Catholic Church is a big part. Definitely like spirituality, because we want to be connected to something higher. We know that God is so important in Latin culture. Like, you're always praying like El Rosario, El Padre Nuestro, and you always say a prayer. I feel like that has gotten lost, throughout the years with like the new Latin generation. Food. Oh my gosh, guys, Latin food. I don't even want to talk about it because I'm going to get hungry. But we really love meat, guys. We eat meat for, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Like, we just love it. Rice, beans, patacones, plantains. That's like a big part of Latin culture, food. Like fish. We love like fried fish. So if you like look throughout like Latin America, we have like a lot of different cultures, but we were all conquered by the Spaniards, by, the people from Spain that came like in the little boats, and they like, killed all these indigenous people. It's so sad, but, that's the history that we have as Latinos. So definitely we have kind of like the same food, or Latinos, and we just get around food. Like on a Sunday, you would cook like a frijolada, with beans and just meat, and get with your family and talk. Definitely like respecting your elders is something that is very important in the Latinx community. Just knowing that they have more wisdom than you, that they can guide you through it because they kind of been there, done that. So we do know that our grandparents have wisdom in our parents, and that we need to listen. I feel like we also just love being ourselves. Like, we're so loud everywhere we go. I can relate that when I'm with like my Latin friends, we just like laughing so hard. Just we talk really loud. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like that's also part of la cultura, just like speaking loud. We love helping each other out. That's something I really love. Like Latinos, we got each other's back. Let's say a lot of the people that I work with here in LA has been Latinos, that they just like see the talent in me, I see the talent in them, and then we're like, okay, like, let's do it for la cultura. So I feel like it's also a strong community. And we love dancing. Oh, God, don't even get us started. Like, if we have food, dance, music, and we're with our families in aguardiente, which is like this alcohol beverage from Colombia, I highly recommend everybody to try it. It's really strong. It's over. Like, we just go crazy. We just definitely know how to party, as J-Lo. She always says to, let's get loud, let's get loud. Little joke. But definitely, like, we just love being ourselves, being able to express ourselves through dancing, through singing. Even, I feel like cooking for your family is a way of expressing yourself, because you are creating something from nothing. So, and with the little ingredients you have, I feel like something about Latin culture is that we will feed like whoever's hungry. They say like we're 2 fit, like 4 fit, 8 people fit. So I feel like we always find a way to feed people that don't have the means, or like help each other out, lend a hand. Because we know that this world can be a little cold, Sometimes this world. I'm not going to sing the Mariah lyric, but you get it. So that's also a big part of it, like dancing, salsa. Oh my gosh, salsa is so big in Colombia and in Miami. I feel like we just really love that. Bachata, reggaeton. Right now reggaeton is going so crazy. And it's crazy because I met Maluma and J Balvin and Karol G before they got famous, like in Medellin. And they were just coming up. Like, I met J Balvin when he was performing in my high school. Okay, so that's just crazy to me. The fact that like all these Colombian people are like one of the biggest artists in the world right now. Same with Bad Bunny. It's just like all these Latin artists are so coming up. Shakira, J-Lo, like there's just we are changing culture, and the reason why Latin culture is changing the way people think or interact with each other is because we know that it's about love. It's sobre el amor. It's sobre, serving each other, loving each other. And we always want to bring happiness everywhere we go. I think that's why we really don't like talking about the sad things, because we're like, you know what? That was just a moment. But life goes on and life is beautiful, So what you do? You keep going, you keep gozando, you keep enjoying. And that's a big part of Latinos. We just love being able to bring joy everywhere we go. And, talk to strangers. Like, we just really be out there. So I just love the whole movement that is happening with Latinx. I wanted to talk to you about how it was for me growing up, And I just wanted to say, if you wanted to learn more about Latin culture, or you have like a Latin friend, I'm sure like they'll be able to relate with the things I just said. You can even just like tell them La Chancla and they'll be like, oh, like your homie, like, So guys, thank you so much, for being with us for this lovely episode about growing up Latina, growing up Latinx. And I hope you enjoyed, that you learned something about Latin culture, which is pretty much taking over the world right now. And I think it's only going to get bigger because Spanish music is so big right now. So yeah, guys, remember to love each other. Remember that we're all energy, and never put yourself in a box, or put yourself in a narrow thing, because you are light. You are energy, okay? So although I am Latina, I also know that I am energy and that we're all humans. So guys, please make sure to be kind to one another. Like, please don't judge anybody on if they have an accent, because some people have made fun of my accent, I'm not gonna lie. But I mean, hey, it's okay. I know who I am. But yeah, like make sure that you're kind to Latin people, that you don't like make fun if they have an accent, or if you, maybe don't understand like their upbringing and you just like are judging them. Like, please don't do that, because we don't do that. We don't judge others, we love others. We accept you for who you are, no matter if you're Asian, black, white, mix, whatever you might be, we just love you. So yes, guys, make sure to spread some love, mucho amor, y make sure that today you tell somebody you love them. Call your grandma, call your mom, please. And I love you so much, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Alma Lake Show. Make sure, guys, that you let us know on Instagram, Twitter with the hashtag the Alma Lake Show what kind of questions you have for us, or if you want us to talk about a specific subject. Let us know. We are here. Again, thank you so much. And if you want to, if you a dope ass person, make sure you share this with somebody. I love you so much, and I hope you have a beautiful day. Bye.
Tell you how it goes. You can drop like